Yo, welcome to today's meditation. I'm your guide, Ed Woodstock, and this is the anger meditation. The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So today we're going to talk about the base primal emotion of anger. But before we do that, as always, let's drop in with a few deep, grounding breaths. Ready? Inhale through the nose. Welcome to the meditation, and the birds above me welcome you too. You notice I'm walking around. I'm not sitting in a lotus position or in any special spot. I'm actually moving. And part of the reason I'm moving is because, especially as men, we have these base primal emotions that are very, very healthy for us to explore, because as men, as animals, as creatures of this planet, we have designed mechanisms within our physiology to protect ourselves from dangers and threats. And when we actually go out and use our physical body and interact with nature, and you don't have to be hunting or doing any kind of crazy cross-country trekking. It can just be going outside and getting a walk and getting some fresh air. Moving your body, exercising, pushing weight, calisthenics, bike ride, jumping jacks, yoga, whatever it is that you feel like helps you to tap into your physiology can be a really, really healthy way to just dissipate some of that anxious energy. So get out there, do your thing. I know that's obvious and elementary, but it's true. If you're feeling like you're having frustrations, anger, any kind of uncomfortable emotions, tension in your body, get out there, move your body. So let's try to understand our anger a little bit. Anger is typically an emotion that comes from us feeling like there's some kind of danger. And usually in modern day, it's not a saber-toothed tiger or a dinosaur that's coming to get us. It is sometimes just feeling like we're not being seen, we're not being heard, we're not being understood. Maybe our needs aren't being met, and maybe we're just feeling like someone is crossing our boundaries by not treating us with the respect or the consideration that we feel like we deserve. And although that isn't a life threat, in some ways, by us not getting the essential things that we feel we need, it can feel very much as if our life is being threatened. And we can develop tension, frustration, anger as a result of feeling like our needs are being overlooked, or someone is not respecting us or treating us in the way that we want to be treated. So, like all meditation, a really great place to start is just to practice some awareness around what's coming up. Resist temptation to numb and distract. When you feel that anger or frustration well up, it's really tempting to want to just pick up your phone and scroll and get a little dopamine hit, or use substances, take a drink, take a smoke, eat some food, watch a show, whatever it is that helps us to just avoid confronting the discomfort of what it means to feel frustration and anger. We also don't want to go the opposite way of completely ignoring it and overlooking it by acting it out. I mean, we can act it out, but you have to act it out in like a really safe and healthy way. So part of acting it out is just what I referred to before. It means going out and doing exercise, like physically engaging your body in a way that allows you to release that frustration and that tension. And it's natural. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Express it. Tap into your physiology. Understand why you have this body. Understand your emotions to the point where you can really sit with your anger and make friends with it. Because unless we understand why our bodies, our minds are reacting to these external circumstances, we'll never truly be able to heal from them. So again, engage physically. Get out there. Or resist the temptation to numb and distract. And hold some space of awareness. Why do I feel frustrated? Why do I feel mistreated? What was said or done that makes me feel this way? And is that feeling accurate? Is the story that I'm telling myself true? And go from the A of awareness of these emotions to the B of breathing. Is it true what I'm feeling? Was I really disrespected? Am I really uncared for? And you notice that when you practice this awareness and you practice the breathing, you'll notice that you'll start having a kind of conversation with yourself. Not in words, but you'll start to listen to your body. You'll start to feel certain areas of your body. Sometimes it's your belly, sometimes it's your neck, sometimes it's your throat or your chest, where you can feel like some of these feelings can kind of reside in a physical way. You'll feel a physical manifestation of these emotions. So sit with it. Understand it. It might even remind you of things that have happened in the past, which is why we use the word triggered. Maybe someone spoke to you or treated you in a way that resembled the way that your parent or a spouse or another lover in the past treated you. And being reminded of being treated that way just can kind of trigger you and activate you. And then cultivating that awareness of how you're going to respond. Are you going to numb and distract? Are you going to repress it and push it down? Or can we cultivate a response, a choiceful, conscious response, creative response, where we can recognize that we have the opportunity to communicate with somebody and say, hey, when you did that to me, when you spoke to me that way, when you ignored what I said, when you spoke over me, when you didn't acknowledge what I asked you to do, it really upset me. And can we find a way to use our words in a way that are effective in not only helping us to have this healing relationship with ourselves, but also to allow ourselves to transmute these emotions from a primal and base level and be able to heal the relationships we have with each other. It takes work. It takes work not to be reactive. It takes work to sit with the emotions that we're feeling and really process them and give them space and make friends with them. And there's an old poem by the poet Rumi called The Guest House that I'll read at the end of this. And it talks a lot about welcoming into our world all the things that we typically try to avoid. And sometimes you'll notice that the very things you try to avoid, if we try to avoid them too much, they can resonate and get stuck inside of us. And then they wind up manifesting themselves in unhealthy ways through our behaviors or our actions or addictions. And so when we start to recognize that by not confronting, addressing, and acknowledging some of these emotions and thought patterns that can get triggered in us, that we ultimately allow them to rule our lives and become the master over us. So this acknowledgement, awareness, the tapping into the breathing, and the choiceful, conscious, creative response to the challenges in our life, it's really a great way to practice what it means to be in this body, to have a healthy relationship between our mind and body, and then ultimately integrate that relationship with ourselves into how we interact with each other and the world around us. So, if you're feeling like sometimes you get overwhelmed or easily triggered, carve out some time and space. Go for a walk, go work out. Don't look at the phone or listen to music even. Just breathe deeply and become more aware of what's going on in your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. Make friends with that. Breathe deeply. Be gentle with yourself. If you're getting angry, it just makes you a human being. But if it's causing destruction and havoc in your life, we got to get a grasp on it. And you definitely have the strength to do this. So practice the ABCs of meditation, awareness, breathing, and creative conscious choosing of a reaction and response to life. Breathe deeply and bring that healing energy to yourself, to your body, to your soul, and then share it with everybody else.
Kill you. I chew me now after I get number.